3 yards the pickup there. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
Strong safety Sean Williams really bounced back from injuries in previous seasons to post one of the best years of his NFL career. 5 interceptions in 2018, led the league in interception return yards, provides great veteran leadership, and some real thump coming from his spot in the secondary.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson, quick slant, caught by Moore. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
So I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. The quick slant caught. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Dalton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Eric Berry exemplifies what I think you're looking for in an NFL safety nowadays. He's what I call a down and distance guy. No matter what the offense has down and distance, they're going to deploy him in a spot where he can have the greatest impact. Versus the run, versus the pass, Eric Berry can do it all.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And the of big boys up front. They're going to stop him right at the line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. That one covers 29 yards. First down. At 6'4", Green can be so tough to cover.
Really can. When I watch him play, the word that comes to mind for me is willowy. And I mean that in the biggest compliment I can give. His ability to do what the receivers coach talk about always, uncover at the end of routes. Even if a guy's right there in his shirt, he finds a way to come up with the ball.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Does the big boy have the juice? And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt. When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Dalton. Going deep for Eifert. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Passing, it's Dalton, and he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a 1st down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, it's Mixon, and able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing, Dalton. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Hooking up here with a rookie from Washington, Drew Sample. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Dalton here from the gun. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Let's go.
And out now come the Seahawks. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here's Carson, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Let's go. Let's do it.
And out now, here come the Bengals. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. They'll face a third down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. Andy Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice...
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Here's Dalton. He's got his man here. It's Green. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
But he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open.
And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. From 10 yards out, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Chris Carson trotting back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vanette, and now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The 13 yards that time and a first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last two possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
11 yards there, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Wilson, and he finds Penny. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Myers able to knock it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oak. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A handoff to Mixon. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Dalton's pass complete to Green. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Andy Dalton now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional one...
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Now Bullock to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. To throw is Wilson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Preston Brown, there to knock that one away.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a cut. Holding him to 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
2nd down, Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down.
AD to AJ. And it's been like that throughout this game. and I think it's a huge reason why they are in the lead.
I like that. AD to AJ, Andy Dalton to AJ Green. Such a tough cover, and they are proving it here in this one. Now Joe Mixon, and an alley to run. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Not today.
Mixon hit, and all the ball is out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turn. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
He's got a man complete. A big pickup of 38.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
You got nothing.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Caught right side, Jerron Brown. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. It's caught, Lockett. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
That's it, baby.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Wilson. This will be caught at about the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll cut the lead to 21-17. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
To the left side here for Eifert. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Give the sack to Barkevious Mingo, the former number 6 pick. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Now the Bengals on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 17. This time they stay on the ground. And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. So we're at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Let's go.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Yeah, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Dalton to the left side here for Eifert. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I know I'm not giving enough credit to the defenders because that pass was incomplete. But come on, it was A.J. Green. I always expect him to come up with the ball.
Yeah, on those deep routes especially, even on incompletions, it's fun to watch him run those routes.
It certainly is, but he eats up ground and he usually goes up and gets it.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Here's Wilson to throw. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Now it's Carson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Nick Vigil, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Dalton. And Eifert has it. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On the run, it's Mixon. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Dalton now to pass. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Andy Dalton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, these cornerbacks have their hands full all afternoon long, but they finally get a measure of revenge as he gets himself in a nice spot. He's able to get 2 hands on the football and pick it off.
What we got? What we got? What we got? Check.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And they're a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. Has bred this big defensive tackle. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengals getting set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
This is Carson. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
We're good.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy. I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Well, it's real easy to ascertain that in the game plan, Andy Dalton to A.J. Green was deemed vital.
And it certainly was the focal point of the defense. They just had trouble with it. Most teams do.
Well, that just tells you how good it is. These guys have grown together, coming into the Bengals, getting together early, and continuing to get better. Doesn't matter what defense is put out there, they feel like they have an answer for it. A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing. And
he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Andy Dalton with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Cost them.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Geno Atkins picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. They go play action now. Wilson. And he's got his target. That's more. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that on your side.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wilson now throwing again. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 1st NFL reception goes for 6. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. The extra point now coming from Myers. 2. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack. And he coughed it up! And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Here's Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to him back.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A 5-yard touchdown catch, and the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at it.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Throwing, Dalton. That's complete to John Ross. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. K.J. Wright able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And Dalton to throw. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
He's got his man here. It's Green. That's good for 28 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Let's go, defense. Out top. It's out.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I got to get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Dalton's going to sneak it. And I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only 2nd down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up 3rd down.
And Dalton will just sneak it. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. So the D-line got the push there against the O-line to stop that quarterback sneak.
A really high percentage call on offense. I think it's the right call. But as you noted, if they don't get the push, you can't get in there. There's no place for him to go. And that's why the whole play got stuffed.
Right here, right here. 25.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. So not quite out of danger just yet. Still backed up a bit, but only need a few inches here on second down. They run again with Carson, and he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 2 yards, good enough for a first. So the victory here for Seattle. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Seahawks, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the